Hi guys, welcome to the studio. I am just here with a chill video. It's going to be just a relaxed stamping video, to be honest. Yeah, we have had a lot of things going on in such a short space of time, and I just need to de-stress. I apologise for anybody who comments on the state of my nails, which I have had in previous videos, but stress does me no good when it comes to my nails. Yeah, so I have here the September challenge by Tracie Fox Creative. These, well, I say kits, I've already cut them up and put them together, but you can get them free on her Ko-fi site, which I will pop all the relative links below. Relative, not relevant. Sorry guys, my brain's fuzzy at the moment. Yeah, so it is the September challenge in her Facebook group, but these are available on her Ko-fi website. And it is an ephemera folio that we're doing this month, and it is very simple. So the first one, you get this page here, the actual kind of, well, actually you get that. So you get that print as one. This is a pocket that you get on another sheet. You get this little flappy bit here that you attach, and then you get this backing paper on kit 1, so week 1. Week 2 is these, so this is it in small form, but this is what you get on the second kit. So you get 1, 2, 3 tags, 2 pockets, a larger pocket, and just like a journaling card. Sorry about the lighting, guys. Like I said, that's in small form. This is it in the large, the normal, printed at normal size. I've done one of each. I've done the normal size one, and then I printed 2 to a page to make it small. This one I've inked up and grunged a bit. This one I've tried to keep clean, as in not inking or anything. But yeah, so there we go. I'm not going to go into details on how to put it all together or anything like that. You can go and watch Tracie's videos for that, which I will link below. These are the scrappy pieces that I have left over, obviously because I printed the background on the back of both, well, all of the kits. I've ended up with all these scraps left over, but they are pretty, and rather than using the white space, I'm going to use some of Tracie's stamps and stamp on the patterned spaces, pattern side. But yeah, so you've got these words as well. There was autumn, ephemera and fall words available in the first kit as well. And like I said, there's a pocket there. You don't have to put it together this way. This is the way Tracie's done it. You don't have to do it this way, but if you do, this pocket here does line up with this pattern on the front page if you get it right, but you could put it anywhere. Then, as I said, in week 2, you've got this lovely pocket here, a tag. That is the square journal card that I've just used a decorative edge punch on and put in there, and then the 2 small pockets for the flap with the 2 tiny tags in. So put that one in the top. Yeah, so it's been fun to get back into the studio. I needed to get back in the studio. I really did. I've been itching to get back in, but motivation has been absolute zero. I come in and my studio is currently full of things that are now mine, but wasn't originally. And overwhelmed is an absolute understatement. as to how I feel when I walk into this room right now, because it all needs sorting, but things are just a little bit too raw for me right now to be doing that. For those of you not aware, could use them too as well. For those of you not aware, who will probably be quite a few if you don't have me on social media, my lovely, amazing father passed away on the 4th of August. Today is the 15th of September. I have had videos on the channel, like gone up on the channel in the last week or so and this week, but they were filmed prior to my dad passing. I just never got around to editing them. I was supposed to be editing them pretty much the week my dad passed on a Monday in the afternoon. I was due to edit those videos the weekend before he passed on the Monday, and then obviously everything just went into complete chaos and disarray. And, you know, as you do, grieving process, funeral to plan. It has been, yeah, I don't even have any words, guys, for how it's been. Emotional roller coaster, absolutely. Yeah, my dad was an amazing guy. Honestly, anybody who ever met him, it is sometimes quite rare to come across a person who, no matter who you speak to about them, whether it's people that have known them for a long time or briefly, that not one single person has a single bad word to say about them. And that's what my dad was like. He impacted everybody's lives, everybody that he came in contact with, like I said, for years or albeit briefly. He made a lasting impression. And yes, so, you know, he was 86-year-old, which is amazing. He's definitely had a good innings, you know. His mum, my grandma, she passed away years ago, but she lived until 91 and a half. And my dad was very, very, very much like his mother. And we always said, oh, you know, that bugger will outlive all of us. You know, he's stubborn, very, very stubborn, set in his ways. But, you know, he was down to earth and funny. He was adorable. He took the hind leg off a donkey. I swear, we all used to say, you know, he'd talk the dead back alive with that guy. But yeah, so he always had stories to tell. He's lived a very colourful life, very, very colourful life, and he always had stories to tell, and everybody always loved listening, and he loved telling anybody that would listen to him, even if it meant a story that would only take 5 minutes to tell, took him 5 hours to tell, but, you know. And, of course, being old, and there's probably very few days gone by where I haven't seen him in the 44 years that I've been alive. Yeah, I have always been a daddy's girl. Always. I mean, as I got older, I turned more into mummy's girl, but I was always a daddy's girl when I was younger. Me and my dad we were like that, honestly. We were like two peas in a pod, honestly. We got up to plenty of mischief together. But yeah, so I've heard it all a gazillion times, but I never, ever, ever got fed up of listening to it. Never. I mean, sometimes it'd be like, oh God, here we go again, roll your eyes, and it's like, wonder what version of the story we're going to get this time. But honestly, every time I knew what were coming, but I still loved listening to it, still had a really good laugh about, you know, what had happened and the new things he'd throw in there because he'd forgot over time, you know. But yeah, oh, he was amazing. He was amazing. But anyway, the studio is full of all sorts of junk, which is amazing for a junk journaler, and perfect as I'm going to use it to make a journal in his honour. But I mean, he was a jack of all trades, a Del boy, and you know, not one foot in the grave, what were it, step toe and son. Oh, he was definitely a steptoe. In fact, funnily enough, the day of his funeral, the music that played him into the crematorium was Steptoe and Son, and the music that played him out was Del Boy theme, the theme to Only Fools and Horses. Yeah, everybody knew him as, like, called him Del Boy because if you needed anything, he had it, basically, or he could get hold of it. Because he was a mechanic, he was a scrap man growing up. Well, when I was growing up, I've got all sorts of things like these. Watchmaker, he was into watches, clocks, lathes. Honestly, anything along those lines, he was into it. Quite a number of years ago, when I started, before journaling, when I started doing the metal hand stamping, my dad, you know, provided me with some tools and things to get me started with that, because he already had the stuff. And it was like, oh, I need a bigger stamping block. I only started with just a little square one. I'm like, I really need a bigger stamping block. Leave it with me, love, I'll find you one. I'm like, yeah, but, you know, he's like, look, leave it with me, I'll find you one. He'd tootle off down to his little unit that he had, his little indoor scrapyard, and he'd come back with his massive piece, and it's like, mind yourself, lovely, it's heavy. It weighed a ton, but oh my goodness, did it make stamping so much better. I've still got it. But yeah, so at the moment, as I said, my studio is full of Dad's things that I have salvaged. Well, not salvaged, but let's say inherited. And honestly, yeah, I'm going to stop turning around to look because I just want to cry. I'm like overwhelmed with everything. Not cry, oh my God, you know, it were my dad's. It's just, what the heck am I going to do with everything? But I mean, things like this. It's a dirty old tin, but I love it. I love it. And I want to keep it, and I want to sand it, and I want to put some fancy paper on it and keep things in it, and, you know, all sorts of things like that. I'm a hoard. My dad and my mum, but my dad is, or was, a very, very, very big hoarder, and I get it from him and my mum, but my dad was worse than my mum. Yeah, so, you know, I've been like, excuse the sniffing, guys, I'm so sorry. But I've, yeah, been going through his things with mum and what have you, and I'm like, oh, give me the tin. I don't want what's in it, give me the tin. All that sort of thing, anything like that I could use down, like, here in the studio. I mean, honestly, and things, just irrelevant things like this. It's just a ruler, a yardstick or whatever mum said it were. 22 inches, that inches, yeah, inches. Oh goody, it's in inches, I didn't notice that before. But yeah, like, it folds up there, and then it folds that way. How cool is that? It's a ruler, but I'm like, I want that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I want it. You know, honestly, there's all sorts of stuff in the studio now that's like that, as well as old photos and things. But yeah, anyway, so as I am chatting away, because this is more of a chatty video than an actual craft with me make and do video, I'm going to use Tracie's stamps from her first collection of stamps. I don't have her newer ones that she's recently released. These were the ones that came out through Creative Expressions. I got these through Tracie's website though. Not 100% sure if they are still available on her website, but I'll link to her site and everything below anyway. But yeah, so we've got the nature fillings. Oops. Nature fillings. We have the passport background. We have passport or entomology passport elements, and then we have the bugology negatives. Okay, so I am literally just going to use these stamps to stamp on these little scraps of paper and pop them in this tin. Why not? When I've sorted them, I'll pop them in this tin. But yeah, so we'll have a chit chat while I craft. And I'm gonna, you know, anybody who's not interested, you know, tune out now if you want. I'm not gonna take offence, because I probably will waffle a little bit in this video. it's not going to be a long video, but I probably, she says, how long is it now? Like 15 minutes already. But yeah, I probably will waffle a bit in this video. But yeah, so it's been hectic. Yeah, I just don't have any words, guys. Well, I do, but none that I can use on camera. Yeah, it's been not fun, obviously, but it's been fun. Stressful, absolutely. Yeah, and then, you know, so we get all the funeral and everything out of the way, and sorting all mum's things out and all that sort of thing, and then it's like, right, we can chill now, we can just take a breath, relax, calm down a little bit, breathe. No, who says we can do that? Oh, yeah, other things cropped up, so it was like, oh, for goodness sake, are you serious? So we dealt with other things, more along financial side of things, you know, because they're not exactly quick at sorting these things out. Excuse me. But yeah, so we get all that sorted. It's official now, so I can mention it. My daughter found out before my dad passed that she was pregnant. She's pregnant. So that was awesome. And Dad was quite excited about that. Another grandbaby. My dad loves the children. He's so family orientated. So he was over the moon when she found out. And yeah, so she had her gender reveal scan. When was that? Saturday. It's now Monday. But yeah, so she had her gender reveal scan on Saturday, sorry. Which was really nice, but also quite a difficult day for my mum, because it was the 13th of September, which should have been Mum and Dad's wedding anniversary. 39 years, guys. You know, they would have been married for 39 years. How crazy is that? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, so it was a bittersweet day, but it was lovely. Everything went off great. My daughter and her husband was hoping for a boy, you know, although it was absolutely, you know, as long as the baby's healthy, we're not bothered what gender it is, but preferably they would like a boy, and it's a boy. Woohoo! Yeah, so the gender reveal was awesome. It was a really fun day. Yeah, as well as, like I said, a little bit of a sad day, but yeah, we had fun. And then yesterday morning, so this was on Saturday. Saturday was fine. Oh, before all that, I started with my foot hurting. And it's like, do you know, I don't know what I've done, but my foot's hurting. This was probably on the Thursday. Went to bed. After a normal day, I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, but my foot's really sore. I haven't banged it or anything that I'm aware of, but it's really sore underneath. Well, that caused me some issues for a couple of days, to the point where I couldn't walk without screaming the house down with obscenities. But I literally couldn't walk. I couldn't weight bear on it or anything, and I'm like, oh my God, are you joking? We can't be doing this now when the gender reveal is on Saturday. Taylor, in the meantime, was complaining about the eczema in his armpit that he gets on a yearly basis. Was really agitating him, and it was that sore. He felt like he was a bit swollen in his armpit, and it was causing him pain. So between me and Taylor, it wasn't so much a competition on who was in more pain, but Taylor won, as he kept telling me. Yeah. So Friday we was going to go to minor injuries, get checked out, both myself and Taylor, but we never got around to it. And then Saturday morning at about, oh, what time were it? About 4 o'clock or something like that. Taylor came and woke us up in a lot of pain. So it was like, right, get something on and let's get to minor injuries. So we took him to minor injuries at Burnley. Normally we'd go to Blackburn, but we went to Burnley. Oh, absolutely brilliant, guys. We were in and out within... Where's my stamping block on? That's massive, is that? I don't need one that big. Yeah, we were in and out within an hour and 20 minutes. From walking through the door to walking out the door, we was in and out within an hour and 20 minutes. It was amazing. For minor injuries, A&E sort of thing. Yeah, it was amazing. Normally you're there for ages, and it did say on the board when we got there that it was anything up to a 4-hour waiting. So it's like, well, you know, he's in pain, so it needs to be done. And it was like, well, do you know what? While we're here, I might as well book myself in to be seen as well. So I did. Because, of course, like I said, I couldn't walk properly. Still, by then, still wasn't able to walk properly. So, yeah, I booked myself in, and the kind woman said that because we were all there together, that when Taylor had his appointment, mine would be straight after with the same person, so just, you know, stay in the room sort of thing. But yeah, so we got seen, and absolutely brilliant. It turned out Taylor has some infected hair follicles in his armpit, so it's like folliculitis or folliculitis, whatever they call it, folliculitis. So he's on antibiotics. Mine, which we'd already pretty much come to the conclusion of before we went to minor injuries. So I wasn't actually going to go to minor injuries because I thought, well, we've pretty much figured out what it is, what's wrong with my foot, so I'm not going to go and waste the time. But obviously because we were there with Taylor and there were only about 5 people there waiting anyway, it was like, right, well, I'll book myself in and I'll just see if they say it's the same thing. Mine is plantar fasciitis. So, yeah, absolute agony with that. That's been not fun. So I've been hobbling around, and Taylor's poorly. Excuse me. Gender reveal, obviously all that with my dad. And then, yesterday morning, Sunday, woke up sniffling like crazy, headache, and I mean, oh my goodness, headache from hell. Eyes puffy, thought, oh goodness sake, allergies again. Yeah, no. So, spent most of the day yesterday feeling like absolute rubbish. On top of being in pain with my foot as well. Sniffling everywhere. I thought, oh, typical. Flu, cold. Yeah, woke up. I struggled last night as well. Headache, pressure. Oh, the pressure's horrible. Pretty much gone through most of today. It is... Oh, my watch has just died. It is now 7 minutes past 5 in the evening. And about an hour ago, Steve turned around and said, have you done a... oh, sorry, I'm going to say it anyway, it's been long enough. Have you had a COVID test? And I'm like, no, it's just flu or a bad cold or whatever. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, I think so. I can still smell, I can still taste, blah, blah, blah. My temperature spiked last night. So I did end up with a fever, but it lasted about an hour. and it wasn't really bad. So I didn't even think anything about the C word. He's like, well, I'm like, well, we can do a test. We've got some in. I'll do a test. And yes, happy days. I have tested positive. And you know what, guys? The test line came up positive before the control line, and before it had even got the liquid. You know, when you do it and then it changes to purple and then it starts moving up the strip, and then your control line comes up first and then your test line. No, mine did it the other way around. The positive test line came up first whilst it was still working its way up. Then it got to the control line and that come up immediately. And then it finished filling up. And then it is like the brightest red you can ever imagine. So, yes, lovely. Honestly. And to top it all off, we're going on holiday on Monday, next week. So, fantastic. Yeah, awesome, super cool. And then, when we get back, we go on the Monday, we come back on the Friday. And when we get back on the Friday, we have exactly a week. So obviously we come back on the Friday and then we're home for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then that Friday through till Monday. So we go Friday, come back Monday, myself and Steve, just us two, are going away on our own. Because it is kind of like an early birthday present for myself. Because there is a craft event taking place called Craftaholic, I think it's called, taking place on the 3rd? No. 4th? I can't remember anyway, but we go on the Friday. No, yeah, we go on the Friday. The event is on the Saturday. I think it's on Sunday as well. I'm not sure if it's Saturday and Sunday or if it's Saturday or the Sunday, whichever, but it's on that weekend anyway. So we get to where we're going on the Friday. The craft event is on either the Saturday or the Sunday, or both days, or one or the other. And then we come home on the Monday. So yeah. And it's like, really, I can't walk properly. I've got this blooming thing now. I'll be fine with that before we go anywhere. We are in a caravan, so we're self-catering anyway, but we are, you know, away from everybody. Self-contained, that's the word I was looking for. Not that it seems to matter these days. I don't follow the whole, you know, original rulings to a T, but I will avoid people as much as I can now until I feel better, or until the first, you know, until I test clear, because I am we have so many vulnerable people in our network and family, so it's like, I know, you know, it's like potentially they've got it anyway. The ones that would get it, they've got it anyway, because we've all been around each other at the same time, without knowing. So, but also now that I know that I've tested positive, I do not want it on my conscience, knowing that I've been around somebody vulnerable and passed it on to them when I knew, you know, when I knew I was positive, and I could have stayed away. So that's me being a hermit for a few days, which is also a good excuse to just chill, you know, take a step back and chill out, which I don't really like doing, but, you know, sometimes you just got to force yourself to do it. Well, this is it, you know, it's kind of done it for me. It's forcing me to slow down and stop, look after myself for a change. So, as I said before, I am just waffling now, so I don't blame you if you've gone, or, you know, if you're ready for turning the video off. But yeah, so what have you guys been up to while I've been away? Yeah. Any videos or new channels or anything that you guys have stumbled across and would like to recommend? Not just for me, but pop it in the comments so that everybody else could check them out as well. Sorry guys, I'm trying so hard not to, you know, make that horrible sniffing sound. I have been watching a channel pretty much dedicated to card making called NB Cards, and it's a lady called Natalie Bowers. Oh, my ink dried. Yeah, a lady called Natalie Bowers. She's a card maker, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's, you know, this, she has all sorts of playlists on her channel, and yeah, she has a clean and simple cards playlist, and it is, honestly, it is like the most simplest card makes going, and it's like, wow, even I feel like I can achieve that. Setting out doing what I'm doing, I never thought that I would end up going down the card making route, although I have done that in the past. But these days, apart from crafting for myself and the occasional design team project, all I seem to do is make cards. I don't make journals or anything anymore. You know, I'll make ephemera because that can be used at any time, anywhere. But I stopped doing full-on journals because it was like, well, what do I do with them when I've done them? Because here in the UK, trying to sell overseas is just, I ain't even going there. I stopped doing that a few years ago, but even now it's like, wow, I don't even want to attempt to start it up again. I'm going to use this postal one, which I haven't actually used yet. I've used the other stamps quite a lot, but I've not even used this one yet. But I'm going to use it on here, and I'm just going to stamp randomly. I'm going to leave it on the thing. Yeah, so, you know, and there's only so many people you can give journals to before they look at you like you've gone crazy, like, what's this? Because of course a lot of people just don't get it. Still. Excuse me. So, or don't appreciate it. Yeah, so I thought, right, well, I've been making quite a few cards, even though they are just for family members, but it's been fun. I've had a few videos posted on the channel about, like, when I've done them, and yeah, I've enjoyed doing it actually. So I thought, right, well, this seems really good. But some of the stuff on her channel, some of the designs that she's doing, they would be absolutely brilliant to do and then just use as journal, you know, instead of doing it as a card, the front of a card, then, you know, use it as a journal card. Just cut it down instead of cutting it down and then mounting it on a card front. Just cut it down and use it as a journal card in journals and stuff. Honestly, some of them are awesome. I mean, obviously, she's adding sentiments to it, like happy birthday, happy anniversary, or whatever, good luck. Just don't put the sentiment on, you know. Oh, well, that didn't work very well, did it? Mind you, it's a new stamp. You know, just put different sentiments on, or don't put them on at all. Put them to one side and save them for when you do a journal. That's cool. For when you do a journal, and then put a specific one on to the journal that you're doing. Well, I really like that. Yeah, put one on that's more specific to the journal that you're doing at the time, and then use it as a journal card or a topper. Or, you know, use it as a journal cover, a topper for a journal cover or something. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a do at some of that, you know, so I will get around at some point. Obviously, I'm going to be busy now for the next few weeks because we've got a holiday coming up and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm going to try and take from what I've learned from watching Natalie and incorporate it into journal cards and things. And she has a Facebook group, I will link it below, and she did put a post up a few days ago, I think it were, or last week, that actually said would people like her to do more designs sort of things, or do more things that could be transferred over to things like making journals and things like that, or other crafts. And obviously a lot of people have got on board with that and said, oh yeah, that would be great. But anybody who's a journaler already, or a junkie crafter, you will know how to do that anyway by watching her videos and going, I can work that into such and such a thing. So yeah, but I think it's really cool that for those who aren't aware of junk journaling or are new to it and want more ideas and things, are jumping on board and saying, oh yes please. And it's nice that she's thinking of those people in her little community. Oh, missed it. But yeah, again, I'm rambling, I'm sorry guys, I can't help it. This is what happens when I don't film for a while. Okay. Excuse me a minute. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying so hard not to do that. But it drives me insane when I've got a cold and I cannot breathe through my nose, because I cannot blow my nose. It just, no, I don't like it. It doesn't work properly for me. I know it probably sounds daft, but yeah, I struggle blowing my nose. It doesn't work for me. It just makes the inside of my nose tickle, and then I sneeze for absolutely ages, which then makes me bung up even more. I feel like I can't breathe. So, yeah, it's not nice. It's really not nice. And I am a seasonal allergy sufferer anyway, so I'm always plagued with some sort of a snotty nose or whatever, sniffles anyway, as you guys will probably know from videos if you watch me on a regular basis. I'm always sniffling in the background. Yeah, plus we have cats, and guess what? I'm allergic to the cats. And we've got 5 of them. As you do. Yeah, as you do. I mean, I must admit, I've grown up with cats my whole life. Ever since being a kid. Well, ever since I can remember. I've either grown up with them or I've been around them in family members' houses and things like that. Yeah, so... But, funnily enough, my allergy to them only kind of kicked in about 10 years ago. And back then we only had 1 cat. And since then it's just got progressively worse. Hi guys. Okay. I had to cut off there because Taylor came downstairs, but it wrapped a good job because I was just rambling rubbish. I know I were. But yeah, so I'm going to pretty much wrap up this video now because you've listened to me. If you've made it this far, you've listened to me waffle on long enough. Yeah, so check out Tracie's freebies for the September ephemera folio, autumn ephemera. Is it autumn? I forgot what it's called now. Autumn ephemera folio, I think it's called. Anyway, go and check them out because they're free. Check them out, obviously, to support Tracie, but also they're free. So, what have you got to lose? Yeah, so... And, like I said, I'm just going to cut these up and throw them in this tin. But yeah, so... I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody is in good health. The weather here is awful, but, you know, I say it's awful. It is because we've just had, like, pretty much a 3-month-long heat wave here in the UK, on and off. If not a bit longer than that, actually. And now, of course, we're in autumn, fall, and it's kicking in, and it's letting us know that it's here. So, it is raining pretty much non-stop. And it's miserable. But it's needed, because obviously we've had such a dry spell. The heat has been lovely at times. But I am kind of glad now that we've got a little bit of cooler weather and some rain to help replenish flowers and plants and things. Nature, that's the one. Yeah, also we're coming to that time of year as well where it's like cooler weather, so stay indoors and snuggle sort of thing, or just stay indoors and wrap up. Yeah, so I'm not at all bothered whether or not the rain's gonna affect the holiday, because it doesn't matter, it won't affect it for us. We'll have a good time no matter what. Yeah, it will probably be more of a respite than an actual holiday and time to just kick back and chill. Oh, phone's going. Okay, we're back. Yeah, as I was saying, holidays, you know, in the rain doesn't bother us. We're British. We're kind of just used to it. But yeah, so like I said, it'll be more of a chill out time to compose ourselves more than anything, which definitely will be nice. But yeah, hoping we'll have got my dad's ashes by then. But yeah, so we can take him with us. That'll be fun. Yeah, so anyway guys, I am gonna love you and leave you. I've talked enough. I'm out of breath. I sound like my dad. Waffling on. Yeah, so hopefully I will be back to some form of a, well, I would say regular, but hopefully a little bit more regular filming and uploading schedule soon. So in the meantime, as I said, please go and check out Tracie's Coffee. Go and check out her videos, especially for these, not this that I'm doing now, but for the ephemera folio kit videos. They're brilliant. And yes, go and check out Natalie over at NB Cards and her Facebook group. And yes, guys, so I will love you and leave you, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys, if you stayed this long. Take care, stay safe, and I'll speak to you all again very soon. Bye!